Hey guys, it's Zach again. I decided to do another video kind of right after I did my last one. I would like to do a video about the Medtronic 670G because I was on that for let's see, about a year and a half. I really did like it. I was on the 630G before the 670G. I went on the 630G in November of 2016. Excuse me, sorry. And then my endocrinologist, who's amazing, love him. I first started seeing him in November 2016 as well. Love him. He's amazing. But he wanted me to go on a pump. So I was like, okay, because I was on a pump in high school. I started it in, let's see, 2003, and then I got off from it in 2007. I was on an Animas pump. I can't remember the make and model because it was so long ago. But it was, it has no comparison to the pumps that are out now. Like, pretty much all it did was just give me basal throughout the day, and then I bolused from it. It didn't even, like, count my carbs for me or anything. Like, I didn't have, like, the bolus wizard where you just put in your carbs and it tells you how much insulin you need. Like, I had to do that all on my own. So I love these new pumps now. So when I started the 630G, it was the first time I had ever used a CGM, a continuous glucose monitoring system, and it was the Guardian Sensor Elite, I believe it was called, with the 630G. And it helped a lot. Like, it really did regulate my blood sugars, because like I said in my last video, I was having a lot of lows, multiple lows a day, passing out multiple times a day, blacking out multiple times a day. Like, it was a pain in the ass. And so I went on the 630G with the sensor. I did my training, hooked up, and I really liked it. I really did. And I was on that from, let's see, November, for about 3 months. Because when I got put on the 630G, they were coming out with with the 670G, it was going to be new. And so my doctor said that there was a thing I could do where, because I was eligible to get it because of the issues I was having with my blood sugars constantly being low, and that the auto mode, like, would really benefit me. So it was like a thing where after it came out, I was one of, like, the first people to get it, and I had to just, like, answer, like, these surveys, fill out these surveys, and pretty much, like, my experience on it, if there was anything I would change, stuff like that, which I really liked, and I got it for free. Like, it didn't go through my insurance or anything like that. I sent them my 630G, they sent me the 670G, and then I sent them my 630G, and then each survey I filled out was, like, worth a certain amount of money, and so when you were all done with all the surveys, you owed them $0. And so, sorry, I got distracted, put something on the TV, a thing. So anyways, I got on the 670G. I liked it. It was good. The auto mode was amazing. I frigging loved it. Like, my blood sugars were awesome at first. Okay? I'm just gonna put that out there. And in no way is this a criticism. In no way is this any medical advice or anything like that. It's just my personal experience with it. Sorry, I gotta move. My cat's on my lap, and I gotta move, and he's not gonna be too happy. So, yeah. For the first couple of months, it was really well, but then, like, after a while, I started noticing that the CGM lagged a lot. And it wasn't as accurate as I thought it was going to be. Like, sometimes my CGM would say that my blood sugar was, like, 83, and I would prick my finger, and it was really, like, and my kit would say, like, my glucose, like, to prick your finger to test your blood sugar, my meter, it would say that it was, like, 52. Or the opposite. Like, my CGM would say that my blood sugar was like 172, and then my my blood glucose meter would say that it was like in the 200s. And so that was kind of, I was like, what is going on here? And I thought like at first I just thought, but I think it was just like I wasn't used to it or something. I don't know, like, cause I feel like it's a lot of trial and error, getting used to, like, getting out of your habits and stuff. And so, I mean, I did really like it. I loved the auto mode, but one of the downfalls for me was the tubing. And unfortunately, after, like, the first year, I started breaking the, adhesive on, like, the sensor that would go in me for the Guardian Sensor 3 that would go into me, and then the taping, it made me break out really bad. Like, I had, like, all these red dots where it would be, and they would, like, burn and itch really bad after I would take it off, and they would be, it's making me itch now just thinking about it, and it would, like, they would be there for, like, days and days and days. So I finally I stopped wearing the sensor because I was like, I'm not dealing with that. Like, it's, no. So then, and then the tubing. Like, the tubing was a huge thing for me because, like I said in previous videos, I am a teacher assistant and I teach students with autism. In the room I'm in, I have some students that have some behavioral issues. So when they go into behaviors and I would have to go in and help, sometimes, like, and it didn't matter how many times I tucked the tubing down in my pants or try, like, it just moving around, it would come out and they would grab it. But, like, my students are extremely high functioning and they knew what it was. Like, when I first, like, they asked me and I told them the truth. I was like, I'm a diabetic. This gives me medicine that helps me stay alive and keeps me healthy. If I don't have this medicine, I can get very, very, very sick. So they would just kind of grab it and then look at me, like, to see what I would do to get a reaction out of me, and I would just ignore them. They never ripped it out of me, but it's just something I didn't want to, like, it's just something I didn't want to wait for it, you know what I mean? So at my last doctor's appointment in December, December 2018, I went and I said that I did not want to be on the pump anymore. I told him for all the reasons I just said, and I told him I wanted to try the Omnipod, because for me, being on injections, just, my body doesn't deal with injections very well. When I'm on insulin shots, my sugars are just constantly low, just constantly. So I told him I wanted to try the Omnipod, so I went back on the Omnipod. But back to the 670G, I mean, it did do what it say it would. I mean, I think this is the first closed looped pump system there was, but there was just, like, some things were irritating about it. Like, I would try to switch from, like, once the sensor warmed up and everything, I would try to switch from manual mode to auto mode, and then it would just constantly, I would have to prick my finger 17 times in order for it to get into auto mode. And then sometimes like, something would happen, and then I would have to wait an hour, and then re-prick my finger again. Like, it was just kind of a pain. Like, again, this isn't a criticism. It just didn't work for me. I did like it. My blood sugars were really good. Once the kinks got worked out, my blood sugars were amazing on it. Like, really good. I was not having really any lows. Like, I would have some, but not as severe as I was having before. it wasn't for me. Like, I tried it. It made me sad because I really did love the auto mode feature. Like, I thought that was awesome. I thought it was so cool. Like, because I was diagnosed with diabetes in 1995. And the first I was on, the first type of insulin I was on was NPH and regular. The NPH was the the long acting, and the regular was the fast acting. And I remember I had to take it, because I got diagnosed a month after I turned 6 years old. And I remember I had to take it 3 times a day, and then I would have to take it 30 minutes before I ate my shot. So we had to time everything out, like take it 30 minutes, and then like, ugh. And then I remember I can't remember the brand of blood glucose meter I had, but I remember it took a minute to tell me what my blood sugar was. You would put it, and it took a lot of blood. Put it on, and then it would count down from a minute. It'd be like 59, 58, 57, 56, all the way down. And I remember, like, when we got one that took 30 seconds, we were like, oh my god! And, like, now, the one I had with the Medtronic, it takes, like, 3 seconds. Like, it's so amazing, like, how far they have come. Like, even, I can't even imagine, like, what, like, the older, like, people that are older than me that were, like, diagnosed in, like, the 80s and, like, the 70s and the 60s think. Like, holy moly, they just must be like, holy fuck. Like, you know? But, again, this isn't a criticism or any medical advice. This is my own personal opinion. I'm gonna do a video on the Omnipod, my Omnipod review as well, a week review. I'm actually gonna do that right after I end this video. So again, I hope I get some people to watch this. Thanks for watching if you do, and I will see you later.